Hey everyone, I'm on a mission to hit 1,000 subscribers, and I'd love your help to get there. If you're enjoying the content, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button right now and join the family.
Something's brewing in Cleveland, and it's not just the cold winds rolling off Lake Erie. It's tension, electric, silent, and ready to detonate. Out of nowhere, rookie quarterback Shedeur Sanders has flipped the entire Browns organization on its head with just 6 words. No drama, no long speech, just a quiet statement that echoed louder than any touchdown celebration. I gotta get big ready. Simple, but loaded. Within hours, that phrase ignited social media, dominated sports talk shows, and sent analysts scrambling for answers. What did he mean? Was this confidence or a warning? Because if there's one thing that's clear, it's that Shedeur isn't talking like a backup anymore. Something inside the Browns facility has shifted, and those 6 words might be the signal that the storm everyone's been waiting for has finally arrived. It was supposed to be a quiet week, a rare pause in the chaos of the NFL season. Players scattered across the country, heading home to families, beaches, and brief moments of peace before the grind began again. But while most of the Browns roster disappeared, one man stayed behind in Cleveland. Reporters spotted Shedeur Sanders late one evening, walking out of the team facility long after the lights should have been off. When asked why he wasn't taking the break like everyone else, his response stopped everyone cold. I gotta get big ready. Simple, but loaded. Within hours, that phrase ignited social media, dominated sports talk shows, and sent analysts scrambling for answers. What did he mean? Was this confidence or a warning? Because if there's one thing that's clear, it's that Shedeur isn't talking like a backup anymore. Something inside the Browns facility has shifted, and those 6 words might be the signal that the storm everyone's been waiting for has finally arrived. While the public tried to decode Shedeur's cryptic "Big Ready" statement, something far more serious was happening behind the scenes. Inside the Browns facility, deep within those soundproofed meeting rooms where careers are quietly made or undone, conversations were taking place that would change everything. According to multiple insiders, head coach Kevin Stefanski and the front office spent much of the bye week in closed-door meetings dissecting one topic and one topic only: the quarterback situation. Whispers from within the organization painted a clear picture. The locker room had already made its choice. Veteran players, staffers, and even members of the offensive unit reportedly voiced the same sentiment. We want Shedeur. Confidence in the current starter, Dillon Gabriel, was slipping fast. Missed reads, mounting frustration, and 2 ugly interceptions in the previous game had stripped away whatever patience remained. One team staffer, speaking under anonymity, didn't mince words. Dillon's lost the room. Everyone knows it. And that's what makes Shedeur's words hit differently. They weren't just a rookie talking big, they were confirmation. Those close to the team believe he already knew what was coming. The tone around the facility had shifted from speculation to expectation. Even though Stefanski wasn't ready to admit it publicly, players sensed it. The energy during practice changed. The quiet confidence in Shedeur's demeanor, the extra hours in the film room, the way veterans started gathering around him, all of it pointed to one truth the public hadn't been told yet. Behind those closed doors, a decision was being shaped, one that would ignite headlines, divide fans, and possibly redefine Cleveland's entire season. The question wasn't if Shedeur Sanders would start, it was when. For weeks, the signs had been there, subtle at first, then impossible to ignore. Dillon Gabriel, once viewed as the steady hand guiding Cleveland's offense, was unraveling under the weight of expectation. His confidence, once his greatest weapon, had started to crack. You could see it in the missed reads, the forced throws, the hesitation that crept into every snap. His performance against the Patriots was the breaking point. 2 brutal interceptions, multiple blown opportunities, and a sideline reaction that told the story before the final whistle ever did. Cameras caught the frustration, the downward glances from teammates, the unspoken truth hanging heavy in the air. Inside the locker room, That frustration turned into quiet disconnection. Receivers stopped disguising their body language, heads shaking after broken plays, arms raised in disbelief. Some veteran players even started pulling Shedeur aside after practice, offering advice, encouragement, maybe even subtle acknowledgement of what was coming next. "It's your time," one player reportedly told him after that Patriots loss. "Just stay ready." Statistically, Gabriel's decline wasn't catastrophic, but emotionally it was. Every incomplete pass chipped away at the team's belief. Every drive that stalled added to the tension. Football is about rhythm, trust, and leadership, and somewhere along the way, Gabriel lost all three. Meanwhile, Shedeur's presence loomed larger with every passing day. He didn't have to say much. His work ethic spoke louder than any press conference ever could. The contrast became impossible to ignore. One quarterback fighting to hold on, another quietly preparing to take over. By the time Cleveland hit the bye week, the writing wasn't just on the wall. It was carved into the foundation of the franchise. Gabriel's story wasn't ending because of one bad game. It was ending because the team had already emotionally moved on. The future had a new name, and everyone in the building could feel it.
If there was ever a perfect moment to make a move this bold, it's now. The bye week isn't just rest, it's cover. It gives coaches a chance to reset schemes, install new packages, and quietly hand the keys over without the chaos of a midweek announcement. That's exactly why insiders believe the Browns have chosen this moment. The timing isn't coincidence, it's strategy. By the time the team returns to the field, everything, from play calls to personnel rotations, can be tailored around Shedeur Sanders, without ever saying the words out loud. Inside sources say the staff meetings during the bye weren't about if, but about how. How to make the transition clean, how to avoid a media circus, how to protect both quarterbacks' reputations while doing what the locker room already demanded. And it's working. The organization has been eerily quiet. No leaks, no official word, just a rising current of speculation pulling everyone toward the same conclusion. Even ESPN's Adam Schefter added fuel to the fire, saying there's a growing belief inside the Browns building that Shedeur will start once the team returns. For a franchise that's been defined by chaos, this silence feels calculated. Every move, every quote, every practice snap seems to hint at something bigger forming beneath the surface. The bye week gave them the time, and Shedeur gave them the reason. It's not just about inserting a new quarterback, it's about controlling the storm before it hits. Because make no mistake, this isn't a desperate reaction to a bad stretch of games. It's the beginning of a reset, a shift from survival mode to something more dangerous: belief. And as Cleveland quietly prepares for the next chapter, one thing has become clear to everyone paying attention. When Shedeur said he was getting big ready, he wasn't talking about the future. He was talking about now. What separates Shedeur Sanders from the typical rookie isn't just talent, it's the way he carries himself, the way the room changes when he walks in. There's a quiet confidence to him, not arrogance, but assurance, the kind that comes from preparation, not hype. Coaches talk about his obsessive film study, the hours he spends dissecting defenses when nobody's watching. One staffer even said, he doesn't just learn plays, he learns the why behind every read. That's what makes him different. He studies like a veteran, but plays like someone who still has something to prove. During preseason, fans caught glimpses of it, those perfectly placed touch passes, the pocket awareness, the subtle pump fakes that froze defenders. Even in limited snaps, there was something magnetic about the way he played. You could feel the energy spike every time he stepped under center. His communication in the huddle isn't forced, it's commanding. Teammates listen, they respond. That's leadership you can't coach. It's earned, moment by moment, through consistency and confidence. Behind the scenes, offensive coaches have reportedly been blown away by his preparation. He doesn't just show up to practice, he shows up ready to teach himself something new every day. His film sessions are quiet but intense, with pages of handwritten notes. When a play goes wrong, he doesn't point fingers, he rewinds, studies, and figures out how to fix it. That accountability, especially from a rookie, has made veterans respect him faster than anyone expected. And maybe that's why his "Big Ready" line hit so hard. It wasn't empty talk, it was validation, a statement from someone who's been putting in the work long before the spotlight arrived. When he says he's ready, it's not just bravado, it's preparation finally meeting opportunity. He's not waiting for the team to hand him the job. He's already preparing as if it's his. Because deep down, Shedeur Sanders doesn't just want to play in Cleveland, he wants to lead it. And that, more than anything, is what makes him different. Inside the Browns' headquarters, the mood has shifted from uncertainty to quiet calculation. Meetings that once revolved around protecting the current starter have taken on a new tone. How to manage a transition that feels less like a risk and more like an inevitability. Behind closed doors, Kevin Stefanski, the front office, and ownership have all faced the same reality. The team has outgrown hesitation. Shedeur Sanders isn't just knocking on the door, he's already standing inside. Whispers suggest the divide in leadership is clear. Some within the organization, including those close to ownership, reportedly backed Shedeur from the beginning. They saw him as the long-term answer, the quarterback who could finally stabilize a position that's haunted Cleveland for years. Others, especially on the coaching side, wanted patience. They believed in process over pressure, in letting him learn before taking control. But Gabriel's collapse and Shedeur's rise forced everyone's hand. You can't hide momentum, not when it's this loud. The most telling sign? The Browns' internal communication has gone nearly silent. Usually during quarterback controversies, anonymous leaks and cryptic insider tweets flood the timeline. Not this time. That silence isn't confusion, it's coordination. Every decision, every message is being managed with precision. Stefanski is known for discipline and control, and this might be his most delicate balancing act yet. Protect team unity while acknowledging that the future has arrived earlier than planned. Sources say discussions have now shifted from if to how. How to roll out the announcement, how to manage the media narrative, how to make the locker room's choice look like the organization's strategy. It's a power game wrapped in professionalism. One executive reportedly called it a controlled takeover. And it's hard to argue, because for the first time in years, Cleveland doesn't just have a quarterback controversy, it has a quarterback revolution. And as those war room doors close each night, one truth lingers in the air. The decision they're about to make won't just shape the rest of this season, it could redefine the identity of the Browns for the next decade.
Across the league, front offices are watching Cleveland like hawks. What's happening with Shedeur Sanders isn't just a team story, it's a test case for how modern franchises handle the balance between development and destiny. Traditionally, rookie quarterbacks are eased in, given time to adjust, sheltered from pressure, but Shedeur's rise is challenging that entire philosophy. He's proving that preparation can replace experience, that readiness isn't always about years in the league, sometimes it's about mindset. Executives and coaches around the NFL are taking notes. If Cleveland, a team built on veteran talent and playoff expectations, is willing to hand the keys to a rookie this early, it signals a shift in how teams view risk and reward. The Browns aren't waiting for comfort, they're betting on potential, and that's sending ripples through locker rooms everywhere. You can feel it, a quiet recalibration of what it means to be ready. Analysts are already calling it the Sanders effect. Stouts are reevaluating how they measure leadership, intangibles, and mental maturity during the draft process. Teams that once prioritized patience are suddenly questioning whether that approach costs them momentum. And around the league, young quarterbacks are watching too, realizing that opportunity doesn't come when you're told it's time, it comes when you make it time. Cleveland's decision, whether it's officially announced or not, has become a league-wide conversation. Not because of hype, but because of timing. The Browns aren't just changing quarterbacks, they're redefining the timeline of development itself. And perhaps that's what makes this story so magnetic. It's not just about Shedeur Sanders stepping into the spotlight, it's about what that step represents. A new era where preparation outweighs protocol and belief outweighs tradition. If this gamble pays off, the ripple won't stop at Cleveland's borders. It'll reshape how the entire NFL thinks about the future. Cleveland feels different now, quieter but charged. It's that rare stillness before something big happens, the kind of calm that never lasts long. Inside the facility, you can sense it. The glances, the whispered conversations, the energy building toward an announcement everyone already expects. Shedeur Sanders hasn't said another word since that moment, and he doesn't need to. His message was already delivered. 6 words that now echo through the city. I gotta get big ready. That phrase, once just a cryptic response to a reporter, has turned into a symbol. Fans chant it, players repeat it, and even analysts have started using it as shorthand for what's coming. A change, a shift, maybe even a rebirth for a franchise that's waited far too long for stability under center. The storm hasn't hit yet, but everyone can feel the pressure dropping. The question isn't whether Shedeur takes over, it's how big the impact will be when he does. And that's the beauty of this moment. It's suspense disguised as silence. The Browns aren't talking, the coaches aren't revealing, and Shedeur is just working. Every rep, every film session, every late-night throw in the practice dome is part of his preparation for the inevitable. Because deep down, he knows what's coming. Cleveland knows what's coming. When the storm finally breaks and Shedeur Sanders steps onto that field as QB1, the meaning behind those 6 words will be clear. Big ready wasn't a prediction, it was a promise. A signal that the calm before the storm was never about peace, it was about power gathering strength. And now, that power is about to take over Cleveland.